A heart sometimes feels uncertain, wondering how the right person will ever arrive. Yet Allah is already arranging the connection with a wisdom far beyond what you can see. Paths you thought were setbacks, opportunities you thought were lost, and chapters you were forced to end are all quietly guiding you toward a soul that has been chosen for your journey. Allah develops each heart separately, allowing growth, healing, and maturity to unfold at the pace that will protect the future He intends for you. Nothing drifted out of place, nothing came too early, and nothing stayed too long. Every moment was preparing you for what He knows you can carry. When your heart reaches the depth He wants for you, the person written for your life will enter it with a calmness that feels not like coincidence, but like a chapter that was waiting to open. When Allah intends two souls to share a journey, He begins preparing them long before they are aware of each other. Each heart is shaped through experiences that seem personal, yet they quietly complement the future they will live together. A test in your life may be building patience, while a test in theirs may be building understanding. Without realizing it, both hearts are being guided through changes that will allow them to stand side by side with harmony and compassion. Allah allows certain chapters to end so that both individuals can grow independently. The lessons you learn in solitude strengthen you in ways companionship alone could not. This personal growth becomes essential because two incomplete hearts cannot create a peaceful home. By refining each soul separately, Allah ensures that when their paths finally join, the bond is built on maturity, respect, and sincerity. There are shifts in your life that feel unrelated to anything meaningful, yet every shift is adjusting your direction. A decision you make today, a path you decline, or an opportunity that slips away may be the very thing that positions you closer to the heart written for you. While the world sees randomness, Allah's planning remains precise and deeply purposeful. Each heart is taken through experiences that teach empathy. Without empathy, relationships collapse under pressure. Allah softens you through trials that teach you how to listen, how to comfort, and how to forgive. At the same time, He softens the one destined for you through their own set of difficulties. Both hearts learn through different roads how to support one another when Allah finally allows them to meet. There are blessings Allah holds back to protect the alignment He is creating. You may feel ready, yet He knows the other heart still needs healing. Or they may feel prepared while you still need to rise in spiritual strength. This delay is not deprivation, it is protection. It ensures that the meeting occurs at the time that benefits both souls equally. As your heart matures, it becomes capable of recognizing sincerity. Allah removes your dependence on superficial qualities so you can value the traits that make companionship meaningful. He teaches you to appreciate honesty, kindness, and faith. He does the same for the one written for you, so attraction is rooted in purity rather than appearance. Your heart begins to outgrow habits that would harm a future relationship. Anger becomes patience, pride becomes humility, and fear becomes reliance on Allah. These changes do not happen overnight. They unfold quietly as part of the unseen preparation. When both hearts reach this emotional readiness, Allah brings them together effortlessly. There are rejections and disappointments you face that seem painful, yet they redirect you away from paths that were never meant for you. Allah removes people who would have disturbed your peace or weakened your faith. These removals can feel harsh, but they clear the road for the soul that is meant to honor the journey ahead of you. As Allah aligns two hearts, He places subtle reminders in your life that guide your decisions. A sudden clarity, a peaceful feeling, or an inner shift may influence your direction without you fully understanding why. These small nudges are part of His plan to position your heart where it needs to be. While two hearts prepare separately, they often develop similar values unknowingly. Both may grow a love for prayer, patience, honesty, or gratitude. These shared qualities act as threads that will later weave their lives together. Allah shapes these qualities not by chance, but by design, ensuring both hearts are spiritually compatible. When Allah aligns two hearts, He protects them from premature connection. You may cross paths too early and nothing would flourish, because both souls would lack the depth required to appreciate each other. By delaying the meeting, Allah preserves the beauty of the bond that will eventually form. Timing becomes an essential part of destiny. The heart destined for you is guided through people and places that prepare them to understand you. Their past experiences equip them with empathy that will later support your vulnerabilities. Your journey too equips you to appreciate their strengths and handle their weaknesses. Both lives become mirrors of growth that complement each other. Allah places a quiet longing in the heart that encourages both individuals to continue improving themselves. This longing is not for a specific person, but for a companionship built on tranquility and faith. It motivates you to seek goodness, refine your character, and strengthen your trust in Allah. These qualities become the foundation of the relationship written for you. As the alignment continues, both hearts begin to release what is not meant for them. Old attachments fade, doubts clear, priorities mature. This internal transformation makes space for the right person to enter without competition from the past. Allah ensures the heart is uncluttered when the blessing arrives. When Allah finally brings two prepared hearts together, the connection feels natural and unforced. There is ease instead of confusion, calmness instead of chaos, sincerity instead of pretense. Everything that once felt delayed suddenly makes sense. Both hearts recognize that the alignment began long before they knew, and that the meeting was simply the last step in a beautifully written journey. The preparation for a destined connection begins long before either heart understands what is unfolding. Allah shapes the foundation quietly, placing each person in circumstances that will strengthen their character and refine their perspective. The lessons that feel unrelated to companionship are often the lessons that will later sustain it. Through challenges, triumphs, and unexpected turns, each soul is guided toward the maturity needed for a meaningful bond. A destined connection requires emotional readiness, and Allah prepares this through experiences that soften rough edges within the heart. You learn patience through hardship, empathy through sorrow, and gratitude through blessings. These qualities cannot be rushed. They grow through lived experience. While you evolve, the one written for you is undergoing their own transformation, designed specifically for the future you will share. The hidden preparation also involves removing influences that would interfere with the blessing. People who destabilize your heart, environments that weaken your faith, and opportunities that would lead you astray are gradually taken away. These removals may feel heavy, but they are forms of protection. Allah clears your path so the connection written for your life can unfold without unnecessary pain. There are stages where loneliness feels overwhelming, yet this space is intentional. It teaches you to understand your own heart, your values, and your needs. Without this self-awareness, even the right connection could be misunderstood. Through solitude, Allah grants clarity that allows you to recognize sincerity when it appears, rather than cling to companionship out of desperation. The preparation also includes uncovering strengths you did not realize you possessed. Life places you in situations that require resilience, trust, and emotional endurance. These qualities will later support the relationship Allah has written for you. A bond built on stability requires a heart that knows how to stand firm, and this firmness is developed through the hidden training embedded in your personal journey. Your spiritual connection to Allah deepens during this period. He draws you closer through challenges that bring you to prayer, reflection, and gratitude. A heart anchored in faith creates relationships anchored in peace. As your trust in Allah grows, your dependence on temporary people fades, ensuring that your future connection is based on sincerity rather than insecurity. Meanwhile, the one destined for you is being guided through their own set of preparations. Their experiences are not identical to yours, yet they complement your journey. They learn lessons you will one day benefit from, and you learn lessons that will one day comfort them. These individual paths weave together silently, creating harmony before the first meeting ever occurs. Allah also prepares both hearts by teaching them how to let go. Letting go of disappointment, letting go of bitterness, letting go of unhealthy expectations. This emotional cleansing creates space for a pure connection to enter. A heart carrying unresolved burdens cannot fully embrace a blessing, so Allah lightens that load through growth and healing. One of the most profound forms of preparation is learning to recognize value beyond the surface. You are taught to see kindness as beauty, faith as attraction, and character as strength. This shift ensures that when the destined soul enters your life, you appreciate their sincerity rather than overlook it while chasing superficial qualities that hold no weight. Your life may shift direction suddenly, and these shifts are part of the invisible groundwork. A new job, a move to a different place, an unexpected decision. These changes are not random. They alter the course of your life so that both hearts eventually move into the same space, mentally, spiritually, or physically at the right moment. Every prayer you make becomes part of this preparation. Even the prayers you feel went unanswered are woven into the final outcome. Allah responds in ways that align with your destiny, not your impatience. What feels like silence is often the phase where your connection is being shaped with wisdom far beyond your understanding. During this preparation, Allah teaches you to value your own worth. You learn not to settle for connections that drain you and not to chase what is not written for you. This self-respect becomes essential for recognizing the person who will honor your heart. A connection built on dignity cannot be created unless both souls understand their own value. The hidden preparation also protects you from premature attachment. You may feel drawn to people who reflect your loneliness rather than your destiny. Allah gently blocks these paths, sometimes through delay, sometimes through disappointment, and sometimes through abrupt endings. These experiences keep your heart safe until the right soul arrives. As the preparation nears completion, your priorities shift. You begin to value peace over excitement, sincerity over attention, and stability over temporary affection. This internal change indicates that your heart is aligning with the qualities needed for the connection Allah has chosen for you. The growth becomes noticeable, not just to yourself, but to those around you. When Allah finally brings the connection into your life, you will recognize that nothing in your journey was wasted. Every heartbreak, every lesson, every change, and every prayer formed the foundation for a bond built with intention. The hidden preparations will become visible, and the wisdom behind every phase will make perfect sense in the light of destiny fulfilled. A heart often receives hints from Allah long before it understands their meaning. These hints are subtle, soft, and easy to overlook. The first sign is a quiet shift within you, a growing desire to improve yourself for no specific reason. This inner pull toward better character is part of Allah's way of preparing you for a soul that will need your strength, your patience, and your sincerity. There are phases where old habits lose their appeal and your heart begins to prefer peace over noise. This transition may feel unusual, but it signals maturity unfolding within you. Allah allows your heart to outgrow anything that would clash with the soul destined for your journey. The desire for clarity and calmness is a silent indication that your path is being shaped. You may find that certain distractions fall away naturally. What once occupied your mind no longer carries the same weight. This quiet detachment is a sign that Allah is narrowing your focus, guiding you toward what truly belongs in your future. Your heart begins to separate from what would have prevented you from recognizing the right companion. One of the strongest signs is unexpected emotional growth. You learn to express yourself with honesty and gentleness. You begin to value communication that respects the soul, not communication built on impulse. These improvements prepare you for a connection based on understanding rather than conflict. A heart refined through growth attracts what is written with wisdom. Your path may start aligning with values you once overlooked. You develop appreciation for loyalty, kindness, humility, and sincerity. These qualities become important because Allah is shaping your preferences so you can recognize the person who carries them. The qualities you outgrow and the qualities you begin to cherish reveal the direction of your future. There are shifts in your spiritual life that happen quietly. You feel encouraged to pray more, reflect more, and seek guidance more frequently. This softening of the heart signals alignment. Allah increases your awareness so that when the right soul enters your life, your heart will be prepared to value the blessing instead of taking it for granted. You may notice that the desire for temporary affection fades. The heart begins to crave something meaningful, something with purpose. This longing is not rooted in desperation but in clarity. When superficial relationships lose their appeal, it indicates that your path is being guided toward a companionship built on sincerity and tranquility. Unexpected protection is also a sign. You might feel drawn away from people or situations that would have harmed your emotional development. This distancing is not rejection. It is Allah removing what could delay the connection meant for you. These protections are quiet but essential, ensuring that your heart is preserved for the right soul. At certain stages, your mind becomes clearer about what you want and what you cannot accept. This clarity is a gift, as it prevents you from settling for less than what Allah has chosen. Your standards rise, not out of pride, but out of wisdom, because you are being prepared for someone whose presence will honor your worth. You begin to feel gratitude for your journey, even the difficult parts. The heart no longer views past pain as meaningless, but recognizes how each experience shaped your understanding of love. This gratitude indicates that your heart is moving toward acceptance, a necessary foundation for welcoming the destined soul Allah has prepared. An important sign is the appearance of unexpected peace when thinking about the future. Fear begins to fade, replaced by quiet trust. You start believing that Allah will send what is best, even if you have no idea how or when. This trust is a reflection of spiritual alignment, indicating that your path is unfolding correctly. Your emotional reactions also evolve. You respond to challenges with more patience, more reflection, and more understanding. These changes are not accidental. They prepare you for a connection that requires emotional stability. When Allah strengthens your reactions, He is strengthening your capacity to love with wisdom. There may be days where you feel a deep urge to improve your life, cleaning up your habits, organizing your priorities, healing your wounds. This inner renewal is directly tied to the connection written for you. A purified heart welcomes a purified blessing. Allah aligns your personal growth with the timing of your meeting. You start recognizing unhealthy patterns and distancing yourself from them. This awareness protects your future. You are being taught how to avoid mistakes that previously caused hurt. The removal of these patterns is a quiet sign that your heart is being prepared for a healthier love, one that reflects divine wisdom. Your compassion grows. You begin to understand others more deeply, especially in their struggles. This softness is essential, as companionship requires empathy. Allah nurtures this quality so that your heart will be capable of kindness when the destined soul enters your life. Compassion is one of the strongest signs of alignment. Certain opportunities appear that encourage personal development. Courses, friendships, responsibilities, or even challenges may enter your life to strengthen qualities you will one day need. These experiences feel random, yet they are precisely designed to prepare you for a future bond that requires maturity and resilience. You may feel drawn to environments or teachings that uplift your soul. You seek conversations that enrich you rather than drain you. This shift indicates spiritual refinement, guiding your heart toward a companion whose presence will align with your growth instead of contradicting it. A subtle sign appears in your prayers. You begin to ask Allah for guidance and clarity more sincerely. You may not have a specific person in mind, but your heart seeks what is wholesome and comforting. These prayers are part of the preparation, shaping your desires in harmony with what Allah has written. Your patience increases. You realize that rushing the process brings more harm than good. You begin to trust that Allah's timing carries wisdom that human timing cannot match. This acceptance prepares you for a connection that will enter your life at the right moment, free from haste and regret. The final silent sign is a calm certainty that your story is unfolding exactly as it should. You stop worrying about missing your destiny because you trust that Allah never misguides a heart that seeks Him sincerely. This inner peace is proof that your path is moving toward the soul He has chosen, and that the meeting will occur when both hearts are ready to understand the blessing. Allah's protection often arrives in ways the heart does not immediately understand. A relationship that seemed promising may suddenly break apart, not because you were unworthy, but because Allah knew it would eventually wound your spirit. By removing the wrong person, He protects the tenderness of your heart and saves you from pain you could not foresee. What feels like loss is often mercy in disguise. There are connections that collapse without a clear explanation, leaving you confused. Yet behind that confusion is a wisdom unfolding. Allah distances you from people whose intentions would have drained your peace or weakened your faith. You are shielded from emotional harm long before it reaches you. Every separation is a redirection towards something far healthier. You may encounter individuals who appear sincere on the surface, but Allah reveals their reality at the right time. A sudden change in their behavior, an unexpected truth coming to light, or a shift in their priorities is often His way of showing you that the connection was never meant to grow. These revelations are painful, but they carry protection within them. There are stages where loneliness feels heavy, not because you are unlovable, but because Allah is preventing you from attaching to someone unfit for your future. This pause is deliberate. It keeps your heart from settling for companionship that would have limited your growth. Through this loneliness, you are being saved from making choices that would bring regret. When the wrong people leave your life, your heart may resist the separation at first. You may try to hold on, hoping things will improve. Yet Allah gently removes what would have distracted you from what He has written. The doors He closes are not punishments, but shields guarding your destiny from being derailed. Sometimes you feel drawn away from certain individuals without any conflict or explanation. This quiet distancing is a form of divine protection. A bond may weaken naturally, a conversation may feel different, or your heart may no longer feel at ease. Allah softens the attachment so that you can release it without breaking. There are relationships that fall apart right before they become serious. This timing is not accidental. Allah stops the story before it reaches a point where leaving would be much harder. This early protection prevents deep emotional wounds and preserves your ability to love sincerely when the right soul arrives. You may notice patterns in which certain types of people repeatedly disappoint you. These patterns are lessons guiding you to recognize qualities that harm your peace. Allah teaches you through these experiences so you can identify the difference between temporary comfort and lasting tranquility. These lessons refine your judgment. Allah also protects you through discomfort. A connection that feels draining, confusing, or heavy is often a sign that your heart is being warned. You may not recognize it instantly, but the uneasiness you feel is part of the protection. It pushes you to step away from what is unhealthy before it takes root. At times, people distance themselves from you without explanation. This sudden disconnection may hurt, but it is often Allah removing individuals who would not honor your future. He protects your dignity by removing you from places where you would have been undervalued. Your heart is spared from deeper wounds. Your growth may create distance between you and those who once seemed important. As you become stronger, more grounded, and closer to Allah, you naturally outgrow connections that cannot walk with you at this new level. This separation is not loss, it's alignment. Allah is elevating you away from what no longer matches your spiritual path. Protection also comes through unanswered desires. You may have prayed for certain people to stay, but Allah knew they would not benefit your future. He withheld them from your life not to upset you, but to safeguard you. What you saw as a missing blessing was actually a shield placed around your heart. There are times when people reveal their true character unexpectedly. The disappointment you feel is uncomfortable yet necessary. Allah allows these revelations so that your heart does not remain attached to illusions. You are spared from committing your life to someone who cannot honor it. Protection can also arrive through delay. Allah slows the process of certain relationships because He knows they would distract you from your growth. The delay forces you to reflect, heal, and build yourself before you enter a bond meant to elevate instead of diminish you. Through delay, He prepares you for something far better. You may find that your heart becomes uninterested in certain connections despite your efforts. This lack of peace is a clear sign that Allah is preventing you from forming an attachment that does not align with your future. He removes the emotional energy needed to invest, making it easier to step away gracefully. Unexpected disruptions also serve as protection. Plans fall through, communication fades, or circumstances change suddenly. These disruptions are not punishments. They are barriers Allah places between you and someone who would not bring goodness into your life. What feels like inconvenience is actually care. You may experience clarity in prayer that helps you understand why certain people cannot remain in your life. This clarity is a gift. It prevents you from chasing relationships that would steal your inner peace. Allah strengthens your intuition so you can recognize what is healthy for your heart. As protection unfolds, your heart evolves. You start valuing peace over excitement, sincerity over flattery, and consistency over charm. These new standards are not random. They are signs that Allah is guiding you toward a soul whose presence will reflect these qualities. Your heart is being refined for what is truly meant. Protection often becomes visible only after healing. Once your heart becomes stronger and more understanding, you begin to appreciate the wisdom behind every separation. What once hurt now feels like mercy. What once confused you now feels like clarity. You realize that Allah was guarding you long before you recognized it. The protection leads you to a connection that feels natural, calming, and safe. The heart that arrives fits your life in ways no forced relationship ever could. You recognize that every person who left was part of a path that guided you towards someone who honors your soul. Allah's protection was never about loss. It was about preparing you for a blessing written with care. Before love enters your life, Allah works on your heart in ways you may not fully recognize. You go through experiences that shape your patience, your understanding, and your compassion. These qualities do not develop overnight. They are carved into the soul through seasons of effort, reflection, and healing. This preparation ensures that when love finally arrives, you are capable of nurturing it with maturity rather than insecurity. You begin to learn how to value yourself without leaning on external validation. This independence is essential because a healthy connection requires two complete hearts, not two souls trying to fill each other's emptiness. Allah strengthens your self-worth so you can enter love with dignity, not desperation. This inner growth becomes the foundation of any future relationship. Your emotional reactions evolve. Instead of letting anger or frustration control you, you learn how to pause, reflect, and respond with clarity. This emotional stability is part of the silent work happening within you. It prepares you to handle challenges with grace when love becomes part of your life, ensuring that you contribute to peace rather than conflict. Allah also teaches you gentleness. Through the difficulties you face, you learn how to treat others with understanding and kindness. These qualities will one day become essential in building a home filled with mercy. Gentleness cannot be taught by ease alone. It grows through understanding your own pain and deciding not to pass it on. You develop resilience through setbacks. Each disappointment strengthens your heart, helping you recover faster and with more wisdom than before. This resilience will help you navigate misunderstandings, challenges, and unexpected tests within a future relationship. Love requires strength, and Allah builds that strength long before love appears. There is a spiritual growth that occurs quietly. You become more sincere in your prayers, more reflective in your decisions, and more aware of your purpose. This spiritual foundation ensures that you view love as a blessing tied to faith, not a distraction from it. A heart that finds peace with Allah is better prepared to share peace with another soul. As growth unfolds, your standards shift. You begin to value qualities like honesty, loyalty, and patience more deeply than superficial traits. This change is a sign of maturity. It helps you recognize the right person when they appear, rather than being drawn to what looks appealing but lacks depth. You also learn how to forgive, not because people always deserve it, but because forgiveness frees your heart from bitterness. A heart heavy with resentment cannot hold love fully. Allah softens your heart through trials that teach you how to release pain gracefully, ensuring you enter your future connection without the weight of the past. Gratitude becomes more natural. You start appreciating the blessings in your daily life, big or small. This gratitude teaches you how to recognize the efforts of a future partner and how to build a home that appreciates the little things. A thankful heart strengthens every relationship it becomes part of. Your priorities become clearer. You begin to separate what is temporary from what is meaningful. You stop investing yourself where sincerity is absent, and you focus your energy on growth, faith, and peace. This clarity ensures that when love arrives, it aligns with your purpose instead of distracting you from it. You learn to let go of unhealthy patterns. Whether they come from old habits or past experiences, Allah helps you release behaviors that could harm a future bond. This unlearning is one of the hardest parts of growth, yet one of the most necessary. A healed heart builds a healthier home. Confidence grows in ways that do not rely on the praise of others. You develop a sense of strength that comes from knowing who you are and who you strive to become. This confidence helps you enter love with balance, not fear. It also prevents you from accepting treatment that undermines your dignity. Allah also teaches you patience, not just with time, but with yourself. You learn that growth is a process, not an instant transformation. This patience carries into your future, helping you navigate love with understanding rather than frustration. A patient heart can withstand challenges that an impatient one cannot. Your communication skills improve. Through daily interactions, you learn how to express your feelings more clearly and respectfully. You understand the importance of listening and the danger of speaking without thought. These skills become essential tools for maintaining harmony in a relationship built on mutual respect. Life teaches you humility. You learn that admitting mistakes is not weakness, but strength. This humility will one day help you resolve disagreements with grace. A relationship thrives not through perfection, but through the willingness to grow together with sincerity and humility. You begin to value quietness within your heart. Peace becomes more important than drama, and stability becomes more meaningful than excitement. This internal shift prepares you for a partner whose presence brings tranquility rather than chaos. Allah shapes your heart to recognize the value of peace before He brings you someone who shares it. You may develop a deeper sense of empathy. You understand pain more clearly because you have lived through it. This empathy helps you become a compassionate partner capable of supporting someone else's struggles without judgment. Love thrives where empathy is alive. You learn how to choose wisely. Instead of relying on impulse or emotion alone, you begin making decisions based on wisdom and long-term benefit. This maturity ensures that when love arrives, you do not rush blindly. You evaluate with clarity, allowing your heart and mind to work together. Growth also teaches you independence. You learn how to stand on your own feet, manage your responsibilities, and care for yourself emotionally and spiritually. This independence prevents unhealthy dependence in future relationships, allowing love to flourish in balance rather than imbalance. You learn how to trust Allah's timing. You understand that love arrives when you are ready, not when you feel impatient. This trust removes fear from your heart and replaces it with hope. When love does arrive, you will recognize that every phase of growth was preparing you for something beautiful, written at the perfect moment. Delays often feel like barriers, yet they are among the most powerful forms of protection Allah places in your path. A heart may feel eager to meet the person written for it, but Allah slows the process so your foundation becomes strong enough to hold the blessing. These delays are not empty pauses. They are seasons of transformation that shape you into someone ready for a meaningful bond. Every delay carries lessons that deepen your understanding of yourself. You begin to see your strengths with more clarity and your flaws with more honesty. This awareness is needed because a relationship requires two people who are aware of their own hearts. Through delay, Allah ensures you enter love with insight instead of confusion. There are delays that teach you patience in ways you never thought possible. You learn how to wait without breaking, how to hope without forcing outcomes, and how to trust without knowing the full plan. This patience becomes a quality that protects your future relationship from unnecessary pressure and emotional strain. Delays also teach you to stop chasing what was never meant for you. You begin to realize that not every person who enters your life is meant to stay. This clarity saves you from building foundations on temporary connections. Allah allows time to pass so that you can let go of illusions and recognize genuine companionship when it arrives. There may be delays that feel painful, especially when you see others finding companionship before you. However, these delays remind you that Allah does not compare your story to anyone else's. Your journey has its own rhythm. Your future has its own timing. Your blessing has its own path. The wait is part of the design. The delays help you develop emotional balance. You learn how to handle loneliness with grace instead of fear. You learn how to manage your feelings without letting them control your decisions. This emotional strength becomes crucial when building a bond based on understanding rather than dependency. Allah also allows delays so that you outgrow unhealthy patterns. You learn how to communicate better, how to listen more carefully, and how to resolve conflict with wisdom. These qualities are rarely developed in rush or ease. They grow through reflection and time. The delay becomes your training ground for a healthier future. You may experience delays that redirect your life entirely. A new job, a relocation, or an unexpected responsibility may change your path, but these shifts are guiding you toward a meeting that could never have happened if your life remained the same. What appears to be a detour is actually preparation. There are delays that protect your heart from being attached to the wrong person. What you thought was a setback becomes a blessing when you look back and realize how much harm was prevented. Allah slows your steps so you do not step into something that would have broken you long term. Delays deepen your faith. You learn how to hand your desires to Allah with sincerity, trusting that He knows the exact moment your soulmate should enter your life. This trust strengthens your relationship with Him first, ensuring that your love for a future spouse does not overshadow your connection with your Creator. The wait helps you refine your expectations. You learn to seek qualities that nurture your soul rather than impress your eyes. Your priorities shift from temporary attraction to lasting tranquility. Through delay, Allah aligns your heart with a companion whose presence brings peace rather than chaos. Delays help you heal from past wounds that would have harmed your future. Old pain slowly loses its grip as you work through your emotions. A healed heart recognizes sincerity more clearly. Without this healing period, you might have misinterpreted love or settled for less than you deserve. The delay becomes a blessing in disguise. At certain points, you may feel that nothing is changing, yet inside everything is transforming. Your mindset evolves, your goals become clearer, and your understanding of companionship deepens. This quiet internal evolution shapes you into someone capable of appreciating a soulmate with gratitude instead of taking them for granted. The wait allows you to build stability in your life, spiritually, emotionally, and sometimes even financially. This stability becomes the foundation of the home you will one day share. Allah gives you time to prepare so that your future relationship is not built on uncertainty but on strength. Delays also create space for your soulmate to grow. You are not the only one being prepared. Allah works on both hearts separately, shaping them through different experiences so that when they finally meet, they recognize each other with clarity and comfort. Your wait is part of their preparation too. Sometimes the delay is simply to teach you that love does not arrive through desperation, but through divine timing. When you release the pressure of searching and instead focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you attract the person who is meant